Hello everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you so much for joining me here. I hope you're having an amazing day. We're going to take a look here at Arweave, see what's going on. This is a request from one of my community members. Thank you so much for the request. Greatly appreciate that. If you're not currently a community member, hey, consider joining. We have almost 300 members in our community, and it's an amazing experience. We're all learning and growing together. And I provide you with trading resources, more specifically my trading academy, where you can become a better trader more foundationally, as well as use what I have here, combination. In other words, good TA isn't just technical analysis. It's having a good mindset and a good risk tolerance to ensure that you are prepared and ready for the trading day, not going into it with an unhealthy, positive mindset. If you don't have a positive mindset, it may be a different result. Anyways, don't trade when you're angry. That's the bottom line. I also have a signal group if you're curious, and you want to learn how to become a better trader by structuring your trades more effectively. That, I think, is probably the most important thing that people could learn. It isn't good entry and good exit. It's mostly just giving yourself the right range to trade within with the trailing stop loss and multiple profit targets. I cover all that, of course, in my community. Take a look here at Arweave. Here's the thing. We're above the 50-day SMA and below the 200. This is a very standard thing for most coins right now. It's a pretty common occurrence. In other words, until we get back up where that 200, we're not fully confirmed, so to speak. We also have this resistance here, just say on the one-day candlestick close, right at about $41.13. So that being said, we're not over a key level resistance yet, but temporarily, and I say temporarily because today's candlestick hasn't closed, we're making higher highs and higher lows. Okay, so mostly good stuff here. I would extract that we're in really good shape, minus a potential key level resistance between 41 and 42.50. Okay, so all in all, looking good here for Arweave in that sense. We're under 70 and above 50 in the RSI, not overextended by any stretch of the imagination, but definitely progressing towards that. And if we look at TD sequential, we're 5 days into this bullish momentous trend, where Bitcoin is about 7 days in. Okay, so all good stuff in that sense. The only thing I don't love here is on the 4 hour. We see a 9 with not enough consolidation sideways and a continuation of the upside. While this is all well and good, and that's very helpful, it could potentially, I wouldn't say be catastrophic, but it's a recipe for retracement. In other words, we could expect the price to come back down to at least 38.18 based on the simple sentiment that this is overextended and it should have turned around or went sideways here, but instead it continued higher. All right. So just something to be mindful of. There's no guarantees that this is even going to pull back. I've seen coins continue on for way longer than they should. But generally speaking, when you see a 9 on TD sequential on the 4 hour, you can expect some type of contraction, not an expansion. So just bear that in mind. We're a bit on the overextended side on the 4 hour. We'll probably see that reflected on the RSI, which is above 70 now at this point. So honestly, I'd like to see this calm down and retrace. It doesn't need to retrace a lot, just down to $38. Right, 38.18, somewhere in that range will be in good shape. Moving on to the 1 hour, Ichimoku Cloud is going to give us a green light. Pretty much every Ichimoku Cloud right now in the market is telling us the same thing, that we want to keep our positions open until Bitcoin decides it wants to turn around. Bitcoin isn't showing any lack of strength. So if we see a pullback, 46,000 would be the worst case scenario. And I covered that in my Bitcoin video, by the way. Check that out if you can. Because I think it's really helpful to be like a Bitcoin professional, right? You want to know more about Bitcoin. The more you know about that, then the more beneficial or just understanding you're going to be of the overall altcoin market too. There's a synonymous pairing, there is independence, there's different things that can occur, and Arweave is starting to do much better than the other coins, right? It has a tendency of doing so as well, but also bear in mind too, it's getting overextended. So pullback, again, I think it's still likely. All right, enough about that. TD sequential on the 1 hour is telling us that we're at another 9, and we hit a 9 previously. So I don't love the fact that we're having these 9s without significant pullbacks. So hypothetically, the next pullback, just based on its history, would be somewhere in the range of $38.18. So I think this key level Fibonacci retracement line that was a previous resistance is now going to work as a support. We should expect a continuation of the upside. So Arweave shouldn't slow down, but I would like to see it go sideways for at least maybe 10 to 12 hours. And give it just a little bit of consolidation, get that reset on the 4 hour, and then go ahead and leg up again. But if you keep running a marathon without any breaks, you're going to collapse and you're going to fall down, right? There's different analogies you can kind of think of, but right now Arweave is pushing very hard, and it needs to kind of chill out and relax for a little bit. But there's no doubt that it's making higher highs and higher lows. It's got a pretty decent staircase pattern here, and it's making healthy continuations. So minus all the overextensions, this has more positive than negative complementing factors, giving us the indication that we're probably going to see a price action higher. And if we were to go higher, just keep in mind we break this resistance at about 42.50. $63 could be likely within the next couple of months. And I'm loosely saying couple of months because honestly it could go a lot faster than that. But just say hypothetically we get the price to double where it's come from, just say in 1 month. In 1 month it increased approximately 75%. We could see an increase of 43% more to touch and test the $55 mark range. Okay. All right, so just something to be mindful of that could happen in the next couple of months, probably a lot sooner, honestly, but it really depends on if we break through this key level resistance. And one thing I also want to take a look at is just the volume profile and see if we have a resistance above or below. And thankfully, we have a support below us with volume profile. And once again, this is roughly only last 4 months of trading, 4 to 5 months worth of trading, but we can tell that the overall consensus here is that $32 is the lowest point at which this price will go. So we're definitely progressing on the right side of the tracks here, and Arweave has much more potential to increase from here than it would to decrease. Just bear in mind we have a resistance zone from 41 to 42.50. All right, well, I hope you found benefit here. Of course, if you want to consider becoming a community member, again, CryptoCache.tech is a site. Look forward to working with you. I greatly appreciate you watching here. Hope you have a good rest of your day. Thanks again for your time.